Have you ever wondered why it's challenging to trust people? Why is it that we often end up deceived when we give our trust too easily? In our journey through life, we come across an intricate maze of human relationships. At the heart of these relationships lies an undeniably vital element: trust. It is the invisible thread that weaves individuals together, building communities, fostering friendships, and nurturing love. Yet trust is not a simple concept. It's a delicate balance, a dance between vulnerability and caution. It's a paradox, an enigma, a trust conundrum, if you will. We yearn for the comfort of trust, the assurance that comes from knowing someone has our back. But not everyone can, or should, be trusted. Just as a coin has two sides, so does trust. On one side, it's the foundation of any strong relationship. It fuels cooperation, encourages mutual respect, and fosters a sense of security. But flip the coin and you'll find the shadowy side of trust. A side that, if not handled with care, can lead us down a path of betrayal, deceit, and heartbreak. This is not to paint a grim picture or to instill fear, but to arouse awareness. The world is not a fairy tale, and not everyone we encounter has our best interests at heart. We must face this reality head-on, not with paranoia, but with discernment. Discernment is the ability to judge well. It's about understanding people, their motivations, and their intentions. It's about being perceptive, intuitive, and above all, wise. It's about knowing when to open your heart and when to guard it. It's about understanding that not every hand extended towards you is a friendly one. In the end, it all boils down to this: trust is not something to be given away blindly. It's not a freebie to be handed out at will. It's a priceless treasure to be earned, a precious resource to be managed wisely. After all, the trust you place in others is a reflection of the trust you place in yourself. Trust, it seems, is not a commodity to be freely given, but rather a precious resource to be wisely managed. Now, how do you discern who to trust? What signs should you look for? The world is teeming with diversity, each person unique in their own ways. But when it comes to trustworthiness, there are certain red flags that signal a warning. Firstly, let's talk about inconsistency. Like a mismatched puzzle, inconsistency between a person's words and actions is a glaring sign of unreliability. For instance, if someone constantly promises to show up but repeatedly fails to, their words lose credibility. Consistency is the key to trust, and when that's missing, it's a red flag that cannot be ignored. Secondly, the avoidance of responsibility. It's a common trait among those who can't be trusted: the inability to own up to their mistakes. When a person constantly shirks responsibility, blaming others for their own shortcomings, it becomes clear that they're not ready to be accountable for their actions. This lack of responsibility is a strong indicator that they may not be the most trustworthy individual. A history of broken promises, now that's a serious red flag. One broken promise might be an accident, two could be a coincidence, but a pattern? That's a warning sign. If someone has a track record of not keeping their word, it's a clear indication that they might not be the person to put your faith in. And finally, listen to the whispers of their reputation. What do others say about them? Are there stories of deceit, of broken trust? While it's important to form your own opinions sometimes, the collective voice of others can give you insight into a person's character. Trust is not a commodity to be handed out freely. It's a precious resource that must be earned and nurtured. So when you encounter these red flags, tread carefully. Be discerning, be wise, and protect your trust. Remember, actions often speak louder than words, and patterns of behavior are more telling than isolated incidents. Trust your instincts and don't ignore the red flags. But what about that gut feeling? Should it be ignored, or does it hold some truth? This is a question that has puzzled us all at one point or another. When it comes to trust, your intuition can often act as a compass, guiding you through the labyrinth of human interaction. Intuition, or your gut feeling, is a powerful form of innate knowledge, honed by years of experience. It's that subtle nudge, that whisper in the back of your mind telling you something is off, or that everything is just as it should be. Now you might be wondering, why should we listen to our gut when we have logic and reason at our disposal? It's a valid question. But consider this. Our intuition is an amalgamation of our past experiences, our observations, our subconscious interpretations. It's our brain processing information at lightning speed, faster than our conscious mind can keep up with. While logic and reason are undeniably important, they can sometimes be clouded by bias, by the desire to see things as we wish them to be, not as they truly are. But our gut, it's different. It's raw. It's instinctual. It doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Consider a time when you've met someone new. Within a few moments, you've likely formed an impression, a feeling about that person. You may not be able to put it into words, but it's there in your gut. That's intuition at work. But it's important to remember, intuition is not infallible. It's a tool, much like a compass. It can guide you, but it's up to you to interpret the signals it's giving you, to weigh them against the facts at hand. So, should we listen to our gut when it comes to trust? Absolutely. But it's equally important to stay grounded in reality, to take stock of the tangible evidence, to question, to probe, to challenge. Your intuition, honed by years of experience, can be a powerful tool in discerning who to trust. Trust your gut, but don't forget to trust your mind as well, because in the end, it's a balancing act, a dance between the conscious and the subconscious, between the heart and the mind. So how do we go about building trust? Is there a magic formula? Well, while there's no magic wand to wave, there are certainly steps we can take to cultivate trust. First and foremost, trust is a process, and not something that's created overnight. It's like a seed that needs time to grow and blossom. It requires nurturing, patience, and a conducive environment. It's not a one-time act, but a series of consistent actions that manifest over time. Shared experiences also play a crucial role in trust building. It's through these collective moments, these shared slices of life, that we get to know another person better. We see their reactions, their decisions, their values, and their character. We see how they handle joy, stress, conflict, and success. These shared experiences give us a deeper insight into who they truly are, beyond the surface level. However, shared experiences alone aren't enough. They must be coupled with proven reliability. When someone shows up for us, keeps their word, and proves their dependability time and time again, it reinforces our trust in them. It's the little things like showing up on time, following through on promises, and being there when it counts, that build up a strong foundation of trust. Remember, trust is not a one-way street. It's reciprocal. Just as you expect others to be reliable, you too need to demonstrate reliability. It's about being the type of person who others can count on, a person who lives by their word. Building trust also involves communication. Clear, open, and honest communication is the bedrock of trust. It's about expressing our thoughts, feelings, and concerns in a respectful and sincere manner. It's about listening and understanding, not just hearing. It's about being transparent and authentic, not deceptive or manipulative. In conclusion, building trust is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process that requires time, shared experiences, proven reliability, and open communication. It's about being consistent, being reliable, being open, and being true to who you are. Trust is not built in a day. It's a product of consistent, reliable behavior over time. In the end, it's all about balance, isn't it? And so, here we are at the culmination of our journey through the labyrinth of trust. To navigate this maze, we've sought to discern who to trust, identified the red flags to watch for, acknowledged the role of our intuitive gut feelings, and understood the process of trust building. Trust isn't a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. It's a delicate dance, a balance, if you will, between letting others in and protecting ourselves. We've learned that discernment is key. Not everyone should be given the keys to our trust vault. Some people are visitors passing through our lives while others earn the right to stay. We've also identified the red flags that signal a breach of trust, like inconsistency in words and actions, secrecy, and a history of broken promises. These are the signs that tell us to take a step back, to reassess, to protect ourselves. Then, there is our gut feeling, that intrinsic compass that often knows the truth even before our conscious mind does. We've learned to trust this instinct, to listen to its whispers, and to allow it to guide us in our interactions with others. And we've discovered that trust is not an overnight phenomenon. It's a process that takes time. It's built brick by brick, through consistent actions, through shared experiences, through honesty and openness. It's not something that can be rushed or forced. Yet, even with all these tools at our disposal, it's essential to remember that the balance of trust can tip. It's a dynamic entity, ever-changing, ever-evolving. We should be ready to adjust our trust levels as circumstances change and as people show us who they truly are. So, as we conclude this exploration of trust, let's take a moment to reflect on the balance that we've discussed. Let's remember the importance of discernment, the red flags, our gut feelings, and the process of trust building. Remember, trust wisely. Not everyone deserves your trust, but those who do will prove it in their words and actions. And with that, we close our discourse on the balance of trust. Keep these lessons close to heart and navigate your relationships with wisdom and grace.